The art vlog is back. The art vlog actually started towards the end of 2019, which turned out to be a really inauspicious start to begin bringing you art from galleries around the UK. Because obviously within a couple of months after just 3 vlogs, the galleries shut down for a lockdown, and when they reopened, things weren't quite the same again. You couldn't spontaneously visit galleries anymore. Now, with the ending of social distancing, galleries have been able to throw their doors open, although many still have some restrictions in place, so make sure that you check that. And the idea of the art vlog is to bring you art from all over the UK, and hopefully, if travel restrictions allow us, beyond. Today we're in sunny Folkestone for the Triennial. This is my favourite biannual triennial in the UK because of the way it leaves a visible legacy across the seaside town, which lasts well beyond the end date of the event itself. Since the first triennial in 2008, works by dozens of artists, including stellar names such as Anthony Gormley, as you can see here, Cornelia Parker, David Shrigley, Tracy Emin and Yoko Ono, pepper the streets, and this triennial will build on that legacy. The show officially ends on the 2nd of November, but if you come to Folkestone at any time of the year, you will be able to see an unparalleled display of public art. So hopefully I can show you what's worth seeing, and come with me as we have a look, as we delve into the town, this beautiful town on a beautiful day, and see what's on show. Hopefully you can see down there a building which is actually the Quarter House, and this is the centre of a creative Folkestone, and it's also really the centre of the Triennial, in the sense that it is obviously where you can pick up maps and pick up guides and the use of toilets and that kind of thing. The Folkestone Triennial is split into 3 plots, which are basically routes, as you can see, colour-coded routes, which take you on 3 different artistic routes through the town. It's not essential to follow these, but they're quite a useful basis. I'd still advise you to get a map, if you can do, from the Quarter House before heading out to explore the wonderful art. See out from up here in the B. William Harvey way, there is beautiful views of the sea and the harbour arm, and this very, very quiet sculptural work which you would absolutely walk through, called Mellowing the Corners, and there are a few of these across Folkestone, by the artist Mariko Hori, and you can sit on it. It's very, very tactile, and you would walk straight past it. It's not a showy piece. The boulder, which is the 5th in, you can see it's a very different colour, is another of the Mellowing the Corners sculptures by Mariko Hori, and it's really interesting because she got residents to donate some objects which are in the middle of the boulder, and over time they'll become exposed, hopefully in an environmentally friendly way. But I really like these quiet pieces. There are 2 people lying on it at the moment, otherwise I would go and have a closer look. And there I can see the very quiet sculpture by Mariko Hori, which is taking the place of some of the hedgeries, the topiary that you can see around as well. It's rather lovely. I do like these in a way, and I think they will stay after the show, I imagine, and become part of the landscape, both on the beach, which one we saw in the B block, over on that bench at the start of the B route, the William Harvey route, and then this one as well. Tina Gverovic's work Surface Flows on the harbour arm, actually on the concrete section of the old roll-on roll-off ferry. It shows articles of clothing just floating in the concrete. Surface Flows speak to both Gverovic's personal history as an artist born in Yugoslavia, a country which no longer exists, but also very much to the Kent coast and Folkestone's present, where migrants are travelling across from France on a daily basis this summer. As well as raising lots of questions in the mind of the viewer, most pertinently, who own these articles of clothing. It also is a deeply political work which reminds us of the human story behind the oft-quoted migration statistics. One of the works which moved me the most was this statue by the sculptor Wilshire-Mills, called I Am Argonaut, is brilliantly positioned, facing off against the stern, more traditional style statue of William Harvey, the Folkestone-born genius who discovered about the circulation of blood. Wilshire-Mills's sculpture is both monumental and deeply personal. When you first approach Wilshire-Mills's statue, the sardonic smile almost leads a sort of sense of playfulness, but closer inspection of the body reveals Wilshire-Mills's own personal story. He was an artist who suffered from a rare blood disorder and has benefited directly from the research of William Harvey, who the statue faces off against. So it becomes a deeply moving and personal and very untraditional statue, which I found very, very interesting. There is a series of billboards by Gilbert and George which were scattered across Folkestone, some of them in prominent places and some of them hidden away. And lots of these billboards dealt with the relationship between the state and us as citizens. And I found obviously this very, very powerful, especially coming out of a recent series of lockdowns where we've been asked to do things that were unimaginable before. And Gilbert and George were almost predicting these things in some of these works, lots of which were produced well before COVID times. Genuinefake's garish pink fortune here on the site of a demolished amusement park is an interactive piece which involves an arcade style entrance and then a crazy golf course that visitors can actually play while learning about Folkestone at every hole, because as you're going to see in a minute, each hole it represents a different landmark in Folkestone. And there's a little bit of information on each landmark as well. I'm a sucker for this kind of art, and its beachfront position really made it for me. As you can see, I'm not very good at the crazy golf, but it was taking us through landmarks, some of which still exist, like the Burson Hotel, which you just saw, and some of which no longer exist. Some of the crazy golf holes are physically impossible, but it's a really, really good fun piece, and it certainly makes you think about how Folkestone's developed as a town, and also how it could potentially develop in the future as well. Really like obviously the viaduct, which you're about to see in the next piece, which I really liked. There were people playing this, there were people engaging with this work of art, and again, it's made the most of a really brilliant site-specific location right down on the beach. Hidden behind a wall at a former gas holder was my favourite work of the whole triennial, Morag Myerscough's Flock of Seagulls and Bag of Stolen Chips. You step through a door in the wall, and then the view of Folkestone, as you can see, suddenly opens out in front of you, and you're confronted with Myerscough's use of text, often 3D text, which she uses as a motif throughout her work, as a core of her work. This reminded me a bit of her Belonging bandstand, which visited Sussex, several places in Sussex, in 2018. Myerscough has worked with the local community to capture their memories of Folkestone and of this site. And as you can see, these are produced in colourful, bold, text-based pieces of art. The scaffolding structure mimics the old gas holder, although it's obviously a lot smaller. And this is a really personal, site-specific piece of art, which, in my view, was both beautiful, uplifting, and captured the essence of the local community. I thoroughly enjoyed my trip to Folkestone today. It obviously helped that it was a glorious hot day where I could wear my shorts. I thought it was interesting. Some of the works really moved me or made me think. I didn't think the quality of the works overall were as good as some previous triennials, but then I think we have to remember that this was put together in a global pandemic, and so it was a magnificent achievement. And I thought the curation of the show with the three plots was really, really strong. I enjoyed that.
as well. My favourite piece, as I said just now, was Morag Myerscough's Flock of Seagulls, Bag of Stolen Chips. The Triennial is on till the 2nd of November, so get yourself down there. And I think it's probably worth, if you know, it's very easily accessible by public transport. You can easily make it in a day if you live in London, from St Pancras on the fast line, or come across from Brighton, Hastings, or down from Thanet. If you're coming from further afield, you might want to stay over and combine it with Turner Contemporary. But it is recommended, definitely, and there were some amazing works in really great site-specific situations, so really recommend it overall. Do come down and taste these works for yourself. Thank you very much. I'm George Dopamine. Don't forget to subscribe to the art vlog for updates of future works and events around the UK. Thank you very much. Over and out.